The world holds its breath. A single bead of sweat drips down the president's face. In a secure bunker, deep beneath the earth, a general whispers into a microphone. The package is delivered. I repeat, the package is delivered. On a massive screen, they watch a satellite image of a rival nation's capital. But they're not looking for a missile strike. They're watching a single, unassuming cargo plane open its rear doors. This isn't a bomb. It's a weapon far more powerful, based on the strangest truth of quantum mechanics, the observer effect. Reality, at its most fundamental level, is a soup of possibilities. An object only truly exists when something observes it. The plane releases its payload, 500 metric tons of stale, untoasted breadcrumbs. Down below, every pigeon in the city turns its head to look at the feast. And in that exact synchronized moment, the entire Parliament building simply ceases to be. We always worried about nuclear war. We should have been worrying about the birds. Act 1. The Grand Unified Pigeon Theory. Welcome to the world where the most powerful beings on Earth are not politicians or generals, but the rats of the sky. The theory is called GUPT, the Grand Unified Pigeon Theory, and it's terrifyingly simple. Our friend the stickman physicist would explain it like this. An unobserved object exists in a state of superposition. It is both there and not there. It's a ghost. When an observer, any observer, looks at it, its wave function collapses into a single definite state. We call that reality. We always assumed the observer had to be conscious, human, intelligent. We were wrong. It just has to be an observer. And there is no greater, more numerous, more omnipresent observer on this planet than the common pigeon. They are a single, quantum-entangled hive mind, a biological, planet-spanning observation machine. Every pigeon is a single neuron in a feathered, constantly judging superorganism. When they look at a statue, it is solid. When they look away, it is a shimmering cloud of maybes.
Governments panicked. Laws were passed. Rule number 1 of national security: do not piss off the pigeons. A new branch of every military was formed, the keepers of the coup. Elite soldiers whose only job was to stand in front of critical infrastructure, nuclear power plants, national monuments, internet servers, and continuously feed the local pigeon population, ensuring they never, ever looked away. Act 2. The Entanglement Threat. For a while, the Cold War was just weird. Instead of spies, nations sent ornithologists to infiltrate each other's parks. But we had missed the most horrifying part of the equation. We knew they were a hive mind. We hadn't truly understood what that meant. They aren't just connected mentally. They are quantum-entangled. Entanglement means that two particles are linked, no matter the distance. If you affect one, the other instantly reacts. Now, imagine that on a global scale. The pigeon mind doesn't care about distance. The pigeon that sees your car in London is linked to the pigeon that sees the Eiffel Tower in Paris. And someone figured out how to exploit it. It started with a series of impossible heists. A diamond vanished from a vault in Antwerp. The guards swore nothing happened, but security footage revealed the truth. At the exact moment of the robbery, a flash mob in New York threw a wedding bouquet made of birdseed into Times Square. Every pigeon in the area looked up, and through entanglement, they caused their counterparts in Antwerp to glance away from the diamond for just one critical nanosecond. Enough time for it to stop existing, be scooped up from the probability soup by a thief, and then be re-observed into reality inside their pocket. This was the new form of warfare, a weapon of mass distraction. You could erase an enemy battleship not by firing a missile, but by organizing the world's most interesting pigeon-based street performance on the other side of the planet.
Reality itself had become a hostage.
Act 3. The Peckoning. The situation escalated. A rogue nation, tired of being ignored on the world stage, issued an ultimatum. They had constructed the ultimate weapon, a fleet of drones designed to distribute a genetically engineered, irresistible superbread across every major city on Earth simultaneously. Their goal wasn't to erase a building or a city. Their goal was far more ambitious. Their top physicist, a madman obsessed with retrocausality, theorized that if you could make every pigeon on Earth simultaneously observe a single point in the empty sky, you could retroactively collapse the wave function of the past. Their target? The Shishalub asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. They were going to unobserve the single most important event in mammalian history. They weren't just erasing a target, they were erasing the entire timeline. Humanity was stumped. How do you fight an enemy who uses bread? How do you reason with a godlike being that thinks exclusively about seeds and shiny things? The keepers of the coup had one last, desperate idea. You can't out-bribe a pigeon, but maybe you can out-entertain it. In a globally coordinated effort, humanity fought back. We didn't launch missiles. We activated our last resort. On every skyscraper, in every park, in every town square, we unveiled the largest, most complex, most ridiculously shiny objects ever conceived, millions upon millions of disco balls. The drones released their bread, but the pigeons, creatures of pure instinctual curiosity, were faced with an impossible choice: a guaranteed meal or the most magnificent, sparkly, light-refracting object they had ever witnessed. For one terrifying moment, the fate of history hung in the balance. And then, the hive mind made its choice. It chose fabulous. We were saved. But in the aftermath, we received our first and only direct communication from the pigeon superorganism. It wasn't a sound. It was an idea projected into the mind of every world leader. The message was simple. Observing is boring. We want to create. The next day, the famously bland concrete walls of the United Nations headquarters in New York were observed into a breathtaking, full-color, photorealistic mural of a majestic pigeon eating a French fry. We didn't win. We just got new management. And the rent for existing in their reality was about to go up.